good morning. Welcome. Hey, Perry, you there with me for
Yes, sir, I am. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Podcast number 2 for Austin Real Estate Today. I tell you what, we got a great response last week. I actually promoted this both as a video podcast and the audio. The audio was loaded about 150 times, and the video was watched, I don't know, the different segments, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 times. So I think your and my suspicion that we're going to get a lot of traction with this, because there aren't a lot of good unbiased resources for real estate information in Austin, will allow us to continue to grow our audience. We even have a couple questions at the tail end of things today. So
wow,
we know somebody.
That's great.
We know we at least have 3 listeners, because I've got 3 questions. So we'll be catering to our 3 listeners. We actually have a special guest today, as you know, Mark Martin from TMM Group over at RE/MAX Austin Skyline is going to talk to us about Lake Point and what's going on in the market over there. As we've committed, we're going to bring in area experts to talk about different segments of the market. So with that, let's jump into the news, Perry.
Okay.
Let me get the articles out. The first article, we got a slide here. Interesting. I know Apple's been rumored to be doing something as far as expanding their campus. And guess what? The San Jose Business Journal found the legal documentation and disclosures on Apple. They're going to add 1 million square feet to the campus in Northwest Austin. They're bringing 3,600 jobs, and they're going to spend about $300 million in investment. It says $300 on the slide, but it's actually $300 million in additional investment into the Austin area. So expect that Northwest market and that area surrounding the Domain and everything else up there to get even hotter. That's a big deal for Northwest Austin, don't you think?
I agree, and those are high-paying jobs too. Those are over $50,000 to $60,000 jobs. We have what I understand it to be is an expansion of the tech support and the customer service call center areas over there.
Right.
That Apple's receiving so much growth. What I hear is that they just can't meet demand with the current issues that they have. Go ahead.
Well, and it's a challenge. I mean, if you think about what's going on with Apple and all these other employers that are expanding, I mean, there was an announcement recently about Facebook taking a bunch of office space up downtown, and other things going on is to live in Silicon Valley, and you know I'm from Silicon Valley, is so expensive that unless you're working for a company like Facebook or Google and you were in early and you got stock, and now you've got millions of dollars to afford to buy a $3 or $4 million house, your lifestyle is not going to be like it is in Austin if you're living up there. So that's what's going on with Apple. We expect to see most of these employers starting to add more and more people into Austin. Austin's got such a good reputation. You're going to see more people coming in because it's easier for them to recruit. I actually had a client in who is a recruiter from a law firm in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be relocating in here. One of the things that is the easiest is bringing people in to Austin as compared to almost every other market in the country because it's so hot now in terms of a place to live. So with that, let's talk about what the result
for houses.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what's going on with the Austin market. There were 2 articles. We're going to go through both of them fairly quickly. The June information is out. The Board of Realtors released some of their numbers. As you know, next week we'll have our total market overview, which will be our analysis that we do at TMM Group of the market, and we'll talk about that in next week's. But the numbers don't actually lie. They're strong. Both the Statesman, in terms of the Austin American Statesman, and the Business Journal picked up the numbers. If you look at the sales numbers, they're up 23% in June, and the median price is up 7.5%. There are markets like Circle C where you can see even stronger year-over-year changes. I just did an update on Circle C last week. Median price is up almost 11.6% year-over-year. And when we get into the days on market, you can see down here it's 58 versus 75 a year ago. And this is the overall market. That even factors in luxury homes in the parts of the market that are not doing as well. As a comparison, Circle C, year-to-date, 25 days on market for houses that have sold there. I mean, it's just ridiculously quick there. It's half the market average.
Wow. I thought the market average
year over year.
I thought the market average. I thought the market average sneaking up. I mean, you're seeing a decline of about 17 days compared to last year's numbers. That's a tremendous increase in velocity from list to sale. That's amazing data.
Well, and let's talk a little bit and set some expectations, because you're going to see when we go through our total market overview next week, I expect, like every market in the country, Austin goes through some seasonality. There's a big push in the late spring and early summer. And I know in talking to some top agents in the market, the gut feeling from some of the people, and again, our total market overview won't lie on this, it'll actually give us the numbers to back it up, is things are starting to moderate a little bit, and some of that's going to be seasonality. But this article talked about the fact that pendings are up significantly, 15% year over year. So we're actually talking about a pretty big jump in those numbers as well. The next article, which was in the Business Journal, titled Austin Home Prices. So again, we got Austin home prices continue upward. They're talking about closed transaction sales up 23% year over year. Their median price, they're saying, is up 8%. Here's a big one, 4.4 months of inventory. It's down 2.3 months, so it's down almost 50% from a year ago.
That's right.
So when you're looking at a market tightening up, this is where you see multiple offers. This is where you see things sell, unless you're in a slower part of the market. I mean, certainly if the further out you go or the further up you go in pricing, and the more problems you have with the velocity of the market. Get over $800,000 in our market in general, and it's significantly slower than it was. But it's interesting to see how quickly things change. I mean, we're always a stronger market than average for the last couple of years, but things have really picked up. You know, a lot of it is job growth. There's going to be a link to every one of these articles in the show notes for the show, so you can actually read through and look at the data. And then the only other news we have in the last week is the Sotheby's franchise out of San Antonio's moving into Austin. They bought Capital City Sotheby's. So look for some changes in the high-end market. It's interesting to see that they're doing so well as a Sotheby's franchise at the high end in San Antonio that they're expanding and looking to expand up here in Austin. That was announced in the last couple of days. We'll probably have a couple luxury agents on in the next month, and we can ask them what their thoughts are. Maybe we can even find somebody on the Sotheby's team here to talk a little bit about what they expect to see happening. And going to give it a happy 40th anniversary. I can't believe, because I certainly haven't been here this long, that J.B. Goodwin started his business in the last week. He hit his 40th anniversary. That brokerage has been around a long time. He started right out of University of Texas. He was actually selling property before he got out of school. So it's an interesting